Hello everyone, welcome to the Crypto Intel channel. Today we'll be conducting a technical analysis of the Kaspa coin and discussing the best entry points for today. Before we start the video, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and click the bell icon so you can always stay up to date on what's happening in the market. It takes you literally a second, but for me it's motivation to improve the quality and level of the videos on the channel. We have a lot to discuss, so let's get started right away. The Kaspa market is currently undergoing one of the most interesting technical phases in recent times, a transition from accumulation to a potential breakout, where the price is no longer simply ranging but is beginning to show signs of directional momentum. The current price is holding in the 0.034 to 0.036 range, and the key change is a shift in activity closer to the upper boundary of the range. Whereas the price previously tended to return to support more often, it now holds below resistance for longer periods. This is an important signal indicating local buyer dominance, even if not yet confirmed by strong volume. From a technical perspective, the structure is gradually changing. Lows are becoming higher, pullbacks are becoming shorter. The price is returning to the upper zone faster. This puts pressure on resistance, which weakens the level over time. Key levels remain: support 0.034 to 0.032 to 0.030, resistance 0.036 to 0.038 to 0.040. But it is not the zone itself that matters, but the behavior within it. The market has stopped actively testing the lower boundary and has begun to concentrate in the upper part of the range. This means that liquidity is gradually shifting upward. Now about liquidity. Above 0.038 to 0.040, short positions are concentrated. Below 0.034, long liquidity, and with the current structure, the probability of liquidity accumulation from above is starting to rise. However, it is important to note, until there is a breakout and consolidation, this remains a setup, not a move. Now for the behavioral analysis. Sellers continue to defend the resistance zone, but their reactions are becoming weaker. Fewer sharp pullbacks, lower trading volume during declines, no bearish momentum candles. This indicates a gradual depletion of supply. At the same time, buyers are not exerting aggressive pressure. This suggests that the market is still in an accumulation phase, not a trend. Now the key factor is compression plus time. Kaspa has been range-bound for quite some time, creating a built-up energy effect. The longer the price remains in this state, the higher the probability of a strong breakout. Now for the scenarios. Bullish scenario. If the price consolidates above 0.036 to 0.038, it breaks out of the pressure zone. This opens the path to 0.040. Key level. Breakout to acceleration to 0.045. With momentum to 0.050 plus, this scenario will be accompanied by rising volume and short liquidations. Bearish scenario. If the price fails to hold 0.034 and returns to the lower part of the range, a test of 0.032 is likely, then 0.030. If weak, 0.027 to 0.025. This would mean the market is not yet ready for an uptrend. Now, an important aspect, false breakouts. With high probability, before a real move, the market will make either a false breakout to the upside or a false breakout to the downside. This is necessary to gather liquidity. Therefore, the key signal is not the breakout itself, but the consolidation following the breakout. Now, the short-term dynamics. An upward microstructure is forming on the lower time frames. It is still weak, but indicates a gradual strengthening of buying pressure. If it persists, it could trigger a stronger move. Now, volatility. It remains low, but this is not a sign of weakness. This is the phase before an expansion, and it is precisely such periods that most often end with sharp impulses. Now, the final picture. Kaspa is currently in a state of accumulation, pressure on resistance, preparation for a breakout. This is not a random movement. It is a structure forming ahead of an impulse. Key range, 0.034 to 0.040. But unlike previous phases, the market has begun to shift upward. And if this pressure persists, the likelihood of a breakout to the upside will increase significantly. If not, the range will continue. And it is precisely the upcoming movements that will show whether a new growth phase has begun or whether the market is still in accumulation. If we continue to analyze the current dynamics, it becomes apparent that the market is gradually transitioning from a phase of passive accumulation to a phase of localized pressure with elements of preparation for a rally. This is reflected not only in the price level, but also in the nature of its reaction to key levels. Special attention should be paid to the 0.036 to 0.038 zone. This is precisely where the point of maximum tension is currently forming. The price has already tested this range several times, and each subsequent pullback is becoming weaker. This suggests that sellers are gradually losing control, and the resistance level is beginning to erode. This behavior often leads to a situation where a breakout occurs not due to a single strong impulse, but through a gradual pushing of the price upward. Now, an important point, the structure of the lows. The formation of higher lows means that buyers are willing to enter at increasingly higher prices. This creates upward pressure, even in the absence of strong volume. At the same time, it is important that there are no sharp sell-offs. There are no panic sales. The market remains stable. This increases the likelihood that the current structure is accumulative. Now about liquidity within the range. Most trading occurs within the 0.034 to 0.036 zone. This is the so-called equilibrium zone, where the market considers the price to be fair. But the longer the price remains above the middle of the range, the higher the probability of a breakout to the upside. It's also worth noting that there is a significant volume of stop orders above 0.038 to 0.040. If the price fails to break through the 0.036 to 0.038 range again and begins to decline, this may indicate that the market is not yet ready for a rally. In that case, a pullback is likely to 0.034, then to 0.032. However, it is important to note that as long as the low remains above the previous one, the structure remains relatively strong. Now, the key aspect is the behavior after a breakout. If there is a break above resistance, it is important to observe whether the price holds above the level, whether volume appears, whether a continuation pattern forms. Without these factors, the breakout may turn out to be a false one. Now, the final point. Kaspa is currently at a point where pressure on resistance is intensifying. The structure is becoming more bullish. Liquidity is accumulating. This creates conditions for a move, but does not guarantee it. That is precisely why the key factor remains unchanged. And in the near future, the market will show whether the current pressure is the start of a momentum move, or just another phase before accumulation continues. And friends, don't forget to leave your thoughts on the Kaspa coin in the comments below this video, what your plans, hopes, and expectations are for it. The best and most engaging comment will be featured in the next video. Just a reminder, friends, informational and news videos are posted on the channel every day, so you won't get bored here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're always up to date on all the latest news. And if you liked this video, please support me with a like. Your like is my motivation. Thanks to everyone for watching, and see you next time.